The hallway echoed with the slam of a locker door, and I felt the familiar knot twist in my gut as Jake Harlan strode toward me like a storm cloud ready to unleash. Everyone scattered, whispers rippling through the crowd at Lincoln High, where Jake was the undisputed king of terror, his broad shoulders and piercing blue eyes a warning to anyone who dared cross him. But today, something snapped inside me. I wasn't running anymore. I stood my ground, heart pounding like a drum in my chest, as Jake shoved me against the cold metal. "What the hell are you staring at, freak?" he snarled, his breath hot on my face. But beneath that venom, I caught a flicker. A vulnerability he'd buried so deep even he might not know it was there. In that split second, rage and something unspoken surged through me. I grabbed his collar, twisted, and flipped him onto the ground with a move I'd practiced in secret for months. The world blurred as I pinned him down, my knees on his arms, our faces inches apart. His eyes widened in shock, that unbreakable facade cracking for the first time. Without thinking, driven by a storm of emotions I couldn't name, anger, defiance, and a pull I'd ignored for too long, I leaned in and stole his first kiss, hard and unyielding, tasting the surprise on his lips. Jake froze beneath me, his body rigid. Then he shoved me off with a force that sent me stumbling back. "What the fuck, Alex?" he gasped, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. His voice a mix of fury and confusion. The hallway had gone silent. Phones were out, capturing the moment that would explode across social media in minutes. I stood there, breathing heavy, realizing I just upended everything. Not just for him, but for me. Why had I done it? The question burned in my mind as I walked away, ignoring the stares. I'd known Jake since freshman year, watched him torment kids like me. Quiet, bookish types who didn't fit the mold. But I'd seen glimpses. The way he'd linger in the locker room, his eyes darting away too quickly, or how he'd defend his little brother from their drunk father at home. Rumors swirled about his family, the pressure to be the tough guy, the star quarterback hiding bruises under his jersey. Was that kiss revenge? Or something more terrifying, like admission? That night, alone in my room, I replayed it over and over. My parents were out. Mom at her nursing shift, Dad buried in his law books. I stared at the ceiling, the taste of him lingering like a ghost. What if I'd just outed him? Outed myself? Lincoln High wasn't exactly progressive. Last year, a gay kid got jumped in the parking lot, and the school swept it under the rug. Jake's crew would come for me now, but worse, what if Jake hated himself more because of this? The next day at school, the air was thick with tension. Whispers followed me like shadows. "Did you see the video? Alex kissed Jake Harlan." I avoided the cafeteria, hiding in the library, but Jake found me. He burst through the doors, his face a mask of controlled rage. "We need to talk," he growled, grabbing my arm and pulling me into the empty stacks. "What the hell was that?" he demanded, his voice low but shaking. I met his eyes, seeing the storm brewing: fear, anger, denial. "You think you can just do that? In front of everyone?" His fists clenched, but he didn't swing. Instead, he paced, running a hand through his messy brown hair. "You don't know shit about me, Alex. You don't know what it's like. Then tell me." I shot back, my voice steadier than I felt. Inside, doubt clawed at me. Had I crossed a line? Forced something he wasn't ready for? But the way his gaze lingered on my lips betrayed him. "You're not as straight as you pretend, are you? All that bullying, it's just a cover." He laughed bitterly, leaning against a shelf. "You think you're so smart. My dad's a cop, man. He expects me to be the man of the house, tough, no weaknesses. If he finds out..." His voice trailed off, and for a moment, raw pain flashed across his face. I wanted to reach out, but I held back, my own fears mirroring his. Coming out in this town meant risking everything. Friends, family, future. We stood there in silence, the weight of unspoken truths hanging between us. Jake finally sighed, his shoulders slumping. "Just stay away from me, okay? This never happened." But as he turned to leave, I saw the conflict in his eyes, the same turmoil twisting inside me. What had I started? A war, or a chance at something real? The rest of the week blurred into avoidance. Jake's friends eyed me suspiciously, but he called them off, subtly with a glare or a word. I caught him watching me in class, his expression unreadable. At home, I confided in no one. My best friend Mia would freak, and my parents? They were supportive in theory, but small-town America had its limits. One evening, as I jogged through the park to clear my head, Jake appeared on the path ahead. "Alex," he called, his voice hesitant. I stopped, heart racing. "I can't stop thinking about it," he admitted, stepping closer. "That kiss. It wasn't nothing." His words hung in the air, heavy with implication. Inside, elation warred with terror. Was this the beginning, or the end? Jake's admission lingered like smoke in my mind, curling around every thought as I navigated the minefield of school the next day. He avoided me in the halls, but his eyes betrayed him, darting glances that spoke volumes of the chaos inside. I wondered if he lay awake at night, like I did, replaying that moment, questioning everything he'd built his life on. During lunch, I sat alone at the edge of the courtyard, picking at my sandwich. Mia slid onto the bench across from me. "Okay, spill. The video's everywhere. You and Jake? What were you thinking?" Her concern was genuine, but it stirred guilt in me. "It just happened," I muttered, avoiding her gaze. Inside, I screamed. It wasn't just a kiss. It was a declaration, a risk that could shatter us both. After school, Jake cornered me by my car. "We can't ignore this," he said, his voice rough. "Meet me at the old mill tonight, 8 p.m. He walked away without waiting for a reply, leaving me with a knot of anticipation and dread. What if this was a setup? His crew ambushing me? But something in his tone felt real, vulnerable. The mill was abandoned, a relic on the outskirts of town, where kids snuck off for parties or secrets. I arrived early, pacing under the fading light. Jake showed up on time, hands in his pockets, looking smaller than his reputation. "Why'd you do it?" he asked, straight to the point. "Pin me down like that?" I hesitated, then let the truth spill. "Because I'm tired of hiding. Tired of you pushing everyone away, including yourself. I've seen you, Jake. The real you, not the bully act." My words hung heavy, and he flinched. "You don't get it," he replied, voice cracking. "My dad's. He's got this image of me. Football star, tough guy. If he knew I felt this way, he'd disown me. Hell, the whole town would." We sat on a rusted beam, the conversation unfolding like a dam breaking. He talked about his childhood, his mom leaving when he was 10, his dad drowning in booze and expectations. "Bullying was easy," he confessed. "It kept people at arm's length, kept me from facing this." He gestured vaguely between us, and I felt a pang. His pain mirrored mine, the fear of rejection a shared shadow. As night fell, our words turned personal. "That kiss," he whispered. "It scared the shit out of me, but it felt right." I nodded, my heart aching. Inside, conflict raged. Was I pushing him too far? Forcing him to confront what he'd buried? But his hand brushed mine, tentative, and for a moment, the world narrowed to us. The next days were a whirlwind of stolen moments. Notes in lockers, brief talks behind the gym. But rumors spread like wildfire. Jake's friends started questioning him. "Dude, you going soft on that queer kid?" He laughed it off, but I saw the toll. The dark circles under his eyes, the forced smiles. One afternoon, in the locker room after practice, it escalated. His teammate, Brock, shoved me against the wall. "Stay away from Jake, faggot. You're messing with his head." Jake intervened, pulling Brock off. "Back off," he growled. But later, alone, he broke. "I can't do this, Alex. It's too much." Tears glistened in his eyes, and my chest tightened. Had I ruined him? That night, I tossed in bed, inner turmoil boiling. Why couldn't I let him be? Was my defiance selfish, dragging him into my world? But the pull was undeniable, a connection forged in fire. We met again at the mill, tension thick. I like you, Jake admitted, voice raw. More than I should. But my family. The team. I pulled him close. Not a kiss. Just a hug. Feeling his body tremble. We'll figure it out, I whispered, but doubt gnawed at me. Could we in a town like this? School became a battlefield. Anonymous notes in my locker. Freak! Jake's dad showed up at a game, yelling from the stands, pressuring him to man up. After Jake confided, he saw the video, thinks it's a prank, but if he suspects. Fear laced his words and I felt responsible. Our bond deepened amid the chaos. Late-night texts, shared secrets. But society pushed back. At a party, someone outed us indirectly, whispers turning to stares. Jake panicked, denying everything publicly. It's bullshit, he told his friends. Hurt stabbed deep. Was he ashamed of me? Alone, I questioned. Had that first kiss been a mistake? A forceful act born of impulse? But his private apologies came. I'm sorry. I'm scared. The emotional weight pressed harder, each day amplifying the drama. The denial hit like a punch to the gut, leaving me reeling as I walked home from the party, the night air cold against my skin. Jake's words echoed. It's bullshit. Public rejection, even if feigned, carved deeper into my soul than any bruise. Inside, a storm raged, betrayal mixed with understanding, love clashing with resentment. The next morning, he texted, "Meet me, please." I went, against my better judgment, to our spot at the mill. He looked wrecked, eyes red-rimmed. I panicked, he said, voice breaking. Seeing their faces, it felt like everything was crumbling. I wanted to yell, to shake him, but instead, I listened as he poured out his fears. The scholarship riding on his image, his dad's volatile temper, the town's conservative grip. You're worth it, I said finally, my own voice trembling. But doubt whispered, was I pushing him toward authenticity or toward destruction? Our hands intertwined, a silent promise amid the turmoil. That moment, fragile as glass, held us together. School amplified the pressure. Teachers turned a blind eye to the slurs. The principal called it teen drama. Jake's performance on the field suffered. Missed passes, lost games. His coach benched him, yelling, "Get your head straight." The irony burned. At home, his dad grilled him, "What's wrong with you? Acting like a pussy." Jake recounted it to me later, tears streaming, and my heart shattered. Our meetings grew more intense, emotions raw. I hate this town, he confessed one night, head on my shoulder. Hate pretending. I stroked his hair, inner conflict surging. Encourage him to come out, or let him hide? Society's chains felt unbreakable. Friends abandoning him, family disowning. But in those stolen hours we found solace, our bond a rebellion. Then came the confrontation. Brock cornered Jake in the parking lot. You queer now? Hanging with that fag. Jake swung, a fight erupting. Punches flew, blood spilled. I rushed in, pulling them apart, but the damage was done. Suspended, Jake faced his dad at home. A screaming match that left him bruised, not just physically. He showed up at my door that night, lips split, eyes haunted. He hit me, he whispered. Called me a disappointment. I held him as he sobbed, rage boiling inside me toward a world that forced such pain. Why couldn't love just be love? My own fears amplified. If I lost him, what then? We decided to fight back subtly. Jake started therapy in secret, courtesy of a school counselor who saw through his facade. Sessions unearthed buried traumas. His mom's abandonment fueling his aggression. His attraction to guys suppressed since middle school. It's like I've been living a lie, he told me, vulnerability exposed. But progress brought backlash. A viral post accused us of corrupting the team. Parents complained to the school board, demanding action. Jake's scholarship hung by a thread. Is this worth it? He asked me one evening, doubt heavy. I assured him yes, but inside, guilt festered. Had my impulsive kiss ignited this firestorm? Our relationship deepened amid the adversity. Whispered I love yous, plans for after graduation. But society struck again. Jake's dad found our texts. "You're no son of mine," he bellowed, kicking him out. Jake crashed at my place. My parents surprisingly supportive after I came out to them tearfully. "We love you," Mom said, hugging us both. But the emotional toll mounted, Jake's depression, my anxiety. In the midst of it, a tender moment. Lying together on my bed, talking dreams. "I want a life with you," he said, eyes shining. Joy pierced the pain, but reality loomed. The town's judgment weighed heavier, each slur a dagger. As weeks passed, Jake rebuilt, joining an LGBTQ support group online, finding strength. But the drama peaked at prom. We went together defiantly, heads high. Whispers turned to shouts. "Freaks!" Someone threw a drink. Jake shielded me, but inside, he cracked. "Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm broken." That night, alone, he confessed his darkest thoughts. "Sometimes I wish you'd never kissed me. It would have been easier." The words gutted me, amplifying my inner turmoil. Had I stolen more than a kiss, his peace? Love felt like a battlefield, society the enemy. Yet, in the quiet, we clung tighter, emotions intensifying with every trial. The prom incident shattered the fragile peace we'd built, leaving Jake withdrawn, his eyes distant as if the weight of the world had finally crushed him. I watched him unravel, each day a deeper dive into despair, and guilt consumed me. That first kiss, bold and unasked, had set this avalanche in motion. Was I the hero of our story or the villain? He stayed at my house, but sleep evaded him. Nights spent staring at the ceiling, whispering doubts. "What if I can't handle this?" he'd say, voice hollow. I held him, assuring, "You're stronger than you know." But inside, fear gripped me. Losing him to the darkness society bred. School became unbearable. Petitions circulated to ban unnatural relationships, fueled by conservative parents. Jake's former friends ostracized him, the team turning their backs. "Traitor," they muttered. His scholarship evaporated, dreams of college football dashed. "It's all gone," he told me, tears falling freely now. The emotional rawness hit harder, each loss a fresh wound. We sought refuge in the support group, virtual faces sharing similar horrors, disownment, violence. One story mirrored Jake's. A kid beaten by his father for being gay. "It gets better," the moderator said. But Jake scoffed. "Does it? In this shithole town?" His anger turned inward, self-loathing festering. "I was fine before. Bullying kept me safe." Those words stung, reigniting my inner conflict. Had I forced this awakening? Stolen his choice? But in vulnerable moments he'd admit, "No, Alex, you saved me from a lie." The push-pull tore at us, love entangled with pain. Then, the ultimate blow. Jake's dad filed for custody of his younger brother, claiming Jake's influence was harmful. "He's taking Tommy," Jake sobbed, collapsing. Rage surged through me toward a system that valued image over love. We fought legally, my dad stepping in pro bono, but the court date loomed like a guillotine. Emotions peaked during preparation. Jake testified in mock sessions, reliving traumas. Dad said real men don't cry, don't feel. That. Breaking down, he clung to me. "I love you. But this hurts so much." My heart ached. Society's cruelty amplified every feeling, turning our story into a tragedy. Amid the chaos, glimmers of hope. Allies emerged. A teacher sponsoring a GSA club, students wearing rainbow pins in solidarity. But backlash intensified. Vandalism on my car. "Die fags." Jake spiraled, contemplating running away. "Maybe alone is better," he whispered. Panic seized me. Lose him now? I confronted my own demons, admitting to Mia, "I think I pushed too hard." She hugged me. "Love isn't easy, but it's real." Her words bolstered me, but doubt lingered. The court hearing was a circus. Jake's dad spewing hate. "He's confused, influenced by that boy." Jake stood tall, voice steady. "I'm gay, Dad." And I'm not ashamed. The judge ruled in our favor, but the victory felt hollow. Family bonds severed. Post-hearing, Jake broke completely. It's over. Everything's ruined. I held him through the night, our tears mingling. Emotions overwhelmed. Relief, sorrow, love. We'll build new, I promised, but inside, exhaustion weighed. Society had tested us to the brink. Graduation approached, a bittersweet milestone. Jake walked the stage to boos and cheers, head high. Afterward, we escaped to the mill, our sanctuary. Thank you, he said, kissing me softly, the first mutual one. Joy pierced the pain, but scars remained. Yet, questions haunted. Was our love worth the destruction? Had society's rejection forged us stronger, or broken us irreparably? As summer dawned, we planned escape, college in a bigger city, fresh start. But the emotional residue clung, each memory a reminder of the cost. Escape felt like a distant dream as summer unfolded. The town's judgment a constant shadow that deepened every wound. Jake's laughter returned sporadically, but his eyes held a permanent haunted gleam, a testament to the battles fought within. I watched him struggle, my love a double-edged sword, sustaining yet reminding him of the chaos I'd unleashed with that impulsive kiss. Nights were the worst. He'd wake from nightmares, sweating, clutching me. Dad's voice. It won't stop, he'd murmur. I'd soothe him, but guilt ravaged me. Had I stolen his innocence, not just a kiss, but his peace? Society's venom had poisoned us both, amplifying isolation. We volunteered at a local LGBTQ center, helping others, but it stirred more turmoil. Stories of suicide attempts, hate crimes, Jake internalized them. Could have been me, he'd say, voice cracking. I pushed for therapy, but he resisted. Talking makes it real. Inside, I screamed, fight for us. But patience wore thin, emotions cresting like waves. Then a reconciliation attempt. Jake met his dad at a diner, hoping for closure. It ended in shouts. You're dead to me. Jake returned shattered, collapsing. Why can't he love me? He sobbed. Holding him, rage toward a bigoted world boiled over. Love shouldn't demand such sacrifice. Our bond strained under the weight. Arguments erupted. You started this, he'd accuse. And I'd do it again. I'd retort, but doubt festered. Was forcing that moment ethical? Society debated it online. Our video sparking forums. Assault or romance? The controversy fueled our inner storms. One evening at the mill, it peaked. Sometimes I hate you for that kiss, Jake confessed, tears streaming. It ruined everything. Pain lanced through me, sharper than ever. Then leave? I whispered, heartbreaking. He didn't. Instead, he pulled me close. I can't. I love you too much. The admission, raw and desperate, intensified everything. Love, fear, hope. As college acceptances arrived, we chose San Francisco, a haven. Packing, emotions surged. Excitement tainted by loss. Jake's brother visited secretly, hugging him. Be happy, Tommy said. Tears flowed, family fractures evident. Departure day, we drove off, town in the rearview. Jake squeezed my hand. We made it. But scars lingered, society's echoes loud. In the city, freedom beckoned, but therapy became essential, unpacking traumas, rebuilding. Our story, dramatic and disputed, left marks. Love triumphed, but at what cost? Was it right to steal that first kiss, igniting a fire that burned away illusions but scorched everything in its path?